wrestling fans, VHS fans, welcome to NDT CoLlEcTs WrAsSLiN Plus VHS.
The following segment has been brought to you by NDT CoLlEcTs WrAsSLiN Plus VHS.
Hello, wrestling fans, VHS fans. In this segment today, I have, I've got about 3 to 4 boxes of VHSs that we're going to go through that I won at Facebook Marketplace auctions. Let's get right into it and see what we got. Like I said, folks, I have won these at Facebook Marketplace in an auction. I bid on them and won them. Let's get right into it. Like I said, let's see what we got out of this. Box number 1. First off, it's wrapped pretty neat. Oh man, what some movies I got here. VHS for life. Alright, let's just bring one out at a time. Here we got, first off, we have Slam Dance. Slam Dance. Slam Dance. That used to be at Skip's Video Market. Slam Dance. Slam Dance. Next up we have Thelma and Louise. Thelma and Louise. Get the thing out. Thelma and Louise. MGA video. Thelma and Louise looks good. Yes. Thelma and Louise. Next up we have Stigma with Patricia Arquette. Stigma. A first-rate thriller, Stigma. Next up, we have an old one here. It is Tootsie. With Bill Murray, Tootsie. And it's not a, it's a side case opener. Tootsie. $1 charge if not rewound. $1 charge if not rewound. Tootsie. Yes, looks good. It's a side opener. Tootsie. Tootsie tonight. Tootsie. With Bill Murray. Got that because Bill Murray's in it. Tootsie. Tootsie. Old classic. Tootsie. I have to tape it. I might tape it because it's supposed to be open on this side. See? The flap supposed to be open on that side. And it's obviously come apart on the other side. Tootsie. I have to get a little piece of tape that part back. Alright, next up I got a long, this is going to be a long video, y'all. I'm so sorry. Bear with me. These are a lot of movies I've got. It is Dead Man's Walk. Dead Man's Walk. I got it because good old David Arquette's in this. Man's Walk. David Arquette. Don't be fined. Rewind. Don't be fined. Rewind. It's a little Western type of style. Dead Man's Walk. Next up we have, I don't remember getting this, but I guess I want it. Oh, I guess I did because it's Burt Reynolds. It's not the actual case cover that I really like to have, but anyway, it's Left Field. Left Field with River McIntyre and Burt Reynolds. Left Field. The Man from Left Field. The Man from Left Field. Next up we have, now this is a horror film, so to speak. And I'm not a big fan of Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt or anybody that plays in this, but it is Interview with the Vampire. I do not own this VHS in no other format, so I had to get it. Interview with the Vampire. And I've never seen it all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces of it. So it'll be interesting to watch on VHS again. Next up, we got a Kevin Bacon film here in Quicksilver. Anybody seen that? Quicksilver. Good old Kevin Bacon. And it looks... No, I thought it was sealed there for a minute. It's a side flip again. Side flip. Side flap. Quicksilver film. I've seen it many times. Let's slide it back in here and see if we can't get it back together. Yeah, there we go. Quicksilver. Good movie. Next up we have a Tom Hanks, Jackie Gleason in Nothing in Common. Nothing in Common. Nothing just get it out. These things are hard to get out sometimes. Yeah, looks good. Nothing in Common. Good old Tom Hanks, Jackie Gleason film. Next up, we have an oldie, a goodie. It is Burt Reynolds in Paternity. Paternity. I forgot that I won that movie. Oh, it's a also a side flap here. The old ones here. Oh no, it's a what is it? Oh, it opens up like a book. Opens up like a book on this one and slides out. If I can get it to slide out. Come on out here. Ah, there we go. Paternity. Union Supply Company. Look at that. Union Supply Company. Looks great. Weird looking box. I've never seen these. It's an old one, I guess. Put it back in here like so. Flip it back over and shut her back in. Nice one. I like it. He wants you to have his baby. Paternity. I've never seen this. Well, I have to watch that. It's a Burt Reynolds film that I've never seen. Next up is one of my favorite John Candy films of all time. One out of millions. It's a side flip also. It is Armed and Dangerous. Armed and Dangerous. Got to get you now. Armed and Dangerous. Armed and Dangerous. Got to get you now. Oh, let's drop it. Armed and Dangerous. John Candy. Great flick, great flick. I love it. Next up, we have a Sylvester Stallone in The Specialist. The Specialist. The Specialist. Next up, we have Whoopi Goldberg and James Belushi in Homer and Eddie. Homer and Eddie. Homer and Eddie. Great classic film. Special rental, 99 cents. Homer and Eddie. James Belushi. Whoopi Goldberg. In Rodney Dangerfield is Meet Wally Sparks. Meet Wally Sparks. Oh, what the? Little dust on the bottom there. Meet Wally Sparks. Rodney Dangerfield. Next up we have an oldie. Oh yes. It is 16 Candles. 16 Candles. A great classic. Look at that. It doesn't. Oh, it came off right here. I hate when that happens from old movies. The sticker came off. The label. See the label right there? Slid off a little bit. Gotta stick that back on there. And I see he's stuck this back on there. Old movie. So, stuff's coming off of it. 16 Candles. As long as the movie plays, I'm cool with it. It looks like it should be okay to play. Just gotta stick that back on there. No biggie. 16 Candles. Next up we have Grand Canyon with, what did I get this movie for? I've never seen this. This is Grand Canyon with Steve Martin. See, well, other people's in there, but I got it because Steve Martin's in it. And Never seen it. The Grand Canyon. Steve Martin, Grand Canyon. Next up, we have a good one here. It is also a flipper. It is St. Elmo's Fire. St. Elmo's Fire. And I got this movie because it's a classic. To me, anyway, it's a classic. I think it's 80s, maybe, something like that. Anyway, it's got Emilio Estevez in it. Emilio Estevez. That's one reason I got it. The only reason I got it. Emilio, I like Emilio, pretty good. I like his brother too, Charlie Sheen. Anyway, it's St. Elmo's Fire. Side flip, flop, flop, what do you call it? VHS. Pretty cool. I like it. Next up, we have Mad Dog in Glory, cause of Bill Murray. Mad Dog in Glory. And it is a Star Video. Star Video. Got a star on that video. Must have been a good one or something. Don't know. Anyway, Mad Dog in Glory, Bill Murray. Next up, we got a Kevin Bacon in. Now, I don't know if this is the older VHS release box art cover or not. I don't think it is. But anyway, I had to get it. She said, he said, I said, she said, he said, she said, Kevin Bacon. It's got little scratches there. So yeah, that's what you got to look out for on VHS. It's probably got stuck in a VCR at one point in time. But as you can see, it's right on the first. So that's probably when the previews of other shows is coming on. So I don't think it hurt it any. Next up, we have Robin Hood, Men in Tights. Great parody of Robin Hood there. Comical classic comedy movie. Robin Hood, Men in Tights. Next up, we got Tom Hanks in Punchline. Him and Sally Field in Punchline. Great movie. Seen it a few times. Tom Hanks, Sally Field in Punchline. Next up, we got Problem Child 2, John Ritter. Problem Child Part 2. Problem Child Part 2. Good friggin' movie. I love Part 1 and 2. Next up, we got a great Jim Varney flick. It is Ernest Rides Again. I am looking for all Jim Varney films, especially the Ernest's on VHS. Ernest Rides Again. Next up, we have Johnny Depp. One of my opinion, I'm not a fan of Johnny Depp's later stuff in life. I like his earlier stuff. And this is one of the greats in my opinion. Edward Scissorhands. Edward Scissorhands. Can't say the word correctly. Edward Scissorhands. Johnny Depp as Edward. Mr. Scissorhands himself. Good movie. Great freaking flick. Next up, we have an all-time good one. Part 1 better, part 2 is even it's still just as good. Good stuff. Predator Part 2. Predator Part 2. Great flick. Got one little spot there on it. Y'all can see that. Little crease right there. But like I said, as we round back to the first, it could be the credits going up or previews of other shows. That should be okay. Shouldn't have nothing to do with the film itself. Predator Part 2. Good movie. Next up, we have a great Charlie Sheen here film. It is The Chase. Charlie Sheen in The Chase. Great film. It's all about in the car. It's all about the chase. Next up, we have a great Randy Quaid, Woody Harrelson movie here. It is Kingpin. Gotta love some Kingpin. I watch that movie all the time. Every time it comes on TV and whatnot, I'm in. I'm down for it. It is Kingpin. I love it. Next up, we have an old flick here. John Travolta, Two of a Kind. With John Travolta, Two of a Kind. CBS Fox release. It does have a little rattle, but I think it'd be okay. Two of a kind. John Travolta. Next up, we have a Watermouth Owl movie here. Good stuff. Old Jack London with him. You know, Watermouth Owl and Jack London used to do a lot of movies together. The Odd Couple Part 1. Odd Couple Part 1. Watermouth Owl, Jack London. Good movie. The Odd Couple. Next up we have, now I've already got this once, I think, but I got it in a clamshell. It is Rick Moranis in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Good movie. Next up we have, now I think I've got this movie because Kevin Smith has a cameo in it. And I like Kevin Smith at anything he does, and I've got to have anything he's involved in. Good old Kevin Smith cameo here in the Daredevil film, VHS. I think Kevin Smith has a small role in that. Next up, we have, I don't even know what this is. It says Film Classics, Capital, Home Group. I don't even know what this is. I don't even remember I ordered got that. I don't even know what that is. Capital Home Video Film Classics. It says Buck Jones 1943. Dawn of the Great Divide. I don't remember even bidding on that. And I don't even know what it is. I'll have to search that and see what's going on with that. Dawn of the Great Divide. I have no idea. Put that over the side somewhere. Right there. Yeah. Next up, we have More American Graffiti with Ron Howard. More American Graffiti. I think that's part 2 of the American Graffiti. More American Graffiti. Next up, we got Eddie Murphy film, and it's an awesome one. Coming to America with Eddie Murphy. Coming to America. Coming to America. That's it. Good guy. Coming to America. Eddie Murphy. Next up, we have a Las Vegas. A good old Nicolas Cage film here. Honeymoon in Vegas. Nicolas Cage. Honeymoon in Vegas. Next up, we have Mo Money, Mo Money, Mo Money, Mo Money. Mo Money with Damon Wayans. Marlon Wayans. Mo Money. Good film. Good film. Next up, we have a Burt Reynolds in Cop and a Half. Cop and a Half. Burt Reynolds. Next up, we got an oldie but goodie. Got this cause a good old wrestler is in it by the name of Andre the Giant. And it is The Princess's Bride. The Princess's Bride. Princess Bride. Next up, we have an Eddie Murphy, Nick Nolte film. I love this movie. I watched it on Betamax when it first came out on Betamax. It is none other than 48 Hours. 48 Hours. Next up, we have, oh Lordy mercy, that's got the paper I tore off of that, but it's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and turn the rest of it off. No, I might not be able to. It's stuck on there, and I don't want to tear that part. That's why it's stuck. But I will take that part right there off. I will take this little part right here off. Let's see if I can take what I can off of it without tearing it all to pieces. I bite it off. Oh, I'm going to tear that off there too. That's why they didn't take it off. It is going to tear the credits on the tape itself because it's taped inside. So let's see how best I can do this. At leave it like that right there. It is About Last Night with James Belushi. About Last Night. Yes, that's fine. So you got this slip plastic across it. If I take that rip out off, it's gonna rip all the stuff here on it, you know, and I don't want to do that. So I'll keep it like it is. About Last Night. Now here we go. Here's the deal on this. I noticed this after I done bid on these and won it. I went back and looked to see what I actually had or at one point. When I paid for these. Whoop. Excuse me, y'all. Pull this box over here real fast. And I couldn't go back and redo it. It was already done, sealed and delivered. We have Burt Reynolds in Seamus. I've never seen this movie. It's called Seamus. It is a flat side also. It looks good. And what I was talking about here, folks, is I went back and looked, and I bid on a Seamus again and got another one, so I got 2 Seamuses here. 2 Seamus. Both of them looks good. Hey! No! Alrighty, box number 2, y'all. Box number 2. Just try and cut open here and we'll get to them. I guess I should have had it already opened, right? Oh! Alrighty, and here we go, here we go. Unfold the paper. Alright, box number 2, number 1, number 10. We have LA Confidential. LA Confidential. Got it because old Danny DeVito's in it. LA Confidential. LA Confidential. Good movie. Next up, we have Arnold. We have Arnold in Conan the Barbarian. Conan the Barbarian. Oh, good old Arnold. Arnold. Next up, we got a Eddie Murphy film. Dan Aykroyd in Trading Places. Great friggin' flick. Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy. Things about these things are hard to come out. Old movie, boy. Old movie. Line that up a little bit. It looks like it's gonna crinkle. There we go. Trading Places, Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy. Good movie. Next up, we got You Can't Hurry. You Can't Hurry. You Can't. That is says Can't Hurry. I don't even know what that says. What'd I get this movie for? I have no idea. It does got Charles Grodin in it. My nose. You Can't Hurry Love. You Can't Hurry Love. Don't know really why I got it. It must be a... Never seen it. It must have been made in the 80s. I love anything 80s. If I haven't seen it, I'm definitely going to get it. Yeah, 1988. So that's the reason I got it. That's the only reason I got it, because it's an 80s movie. Well, check that one out. Okay, next up, we have a John Belushi film here. And I'm not big on John Belushi, to be honest with you. But I'm getting interested in him, you know? I mean, I always liked John better, it seemed like. John Belushi. I'm not John, but James. James Belushi, his brother, elder brother. John's no longer with us. He's passed away, rest in peace, John. He's made some great films. I've seen a lot lately. Blues Brothers, Animal House. I ordered that too somewhere or another. Anyway, it's John Belushi in Old Boyfriends. I'm getting like old John Belushi. Don't know why I never did earlier. I guess I got a hold of James and never could get off his brother James. But this is John in Old Boyfriends. I've never seen this, so it's going to be great to watch. It's hard to fit back in the case. Old Boyfriends. Next up, we have a thriller scary. If you want to say a thriller or whatnot. I would say thriller scary. And disturbing behavior. Disturbing behavior. I like any kind of thriller horror film. I gotta get them, you know. Blow my nose. Disturbing behavior. Next up, we have Eddie Murphy film is The Holy Man. The Holy Man. Eddie Murphy. Next up, we got Emilio Estevez in The Stakeout. The Stakeout. Next up, we have a Kevin Bacon, great film, friggin' good. I love it. One of his best, I'd say. God, I mean, he's got a lot of great ones. But this is the old classic here. This is the old 80s and whatnot. It is Footloose, Footloose, kick off your Sunday shoes. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee. Up north of Molly, get back, get back. It is Footloose. Footloose, had to get it. Next up, we have, where's go? James Belushi's brother, John, but this is James, and James is in Curly Sue. James Belushi and Curly Sue. I always enjoyed this film as a kid too, man. Good old Curly Sue. Curly Sue. Next up, we have another great classic. And Al Pacino, I can't never pronounce his name. I know he wants to run. Blow it right back up in there. Is Scarface. Scarface. I can't pronounce his name correctly. Al Capino, and Scarface. Next up, we have Dennis Quaid as Jerry Lewis in Great Balls of Fire. Great Balls of Fire. Next up, we have, and I've never seen this film, and I got it because it had great cover art here. And it's got Roddy Piper in it. That's the reason I got it. It's called Buy and Sell. Buy and Sell. Never seen it, so it's going to be great to watch. On VHS. Buy and Sell. Buy and Sell with Roddy Piper. Next up, we have Robert Townsend. What is this movie? Yeah. It's got Robert Townsend and not Damon Wayans, but one of the Wayans brothers, Keenan Ivory Wayans, involved in all this. And it is The Hollywood Shuffle. The Hollywood Shuffle. Has anybody seen that? That's a movie too. The Hollywood Shuffle. Next up, we have a John Goodman film, and he is The Babe. John Goodman portrays Babe Ruth in this classic, The Babe. Good old John Goodman, I like him. Next up, we have Nose. Excuse me while I go blow my nose. No, my nose is clear. We have, what is this? No, it's Neve Campbell. I'm not a real big fan of Neve Campbell. Scream, I like Screams. All the Screams pretty good. But this one I had to get because look at the witches. It is The Craft. Who don't like The Craft, right? The modern day witches back then. The Craft. Good flick. Good ass movie. Anyway, next up, we have Charlie Sheen in this. And it is Navy SEALs. Navy SEALs with Charlie Sheen. Navy SEALs. They're hard to get out of these cases, these are, for some odd reason. Don't know why. That is apparently stuck. Got to work on that. Yeah, it looks good. Navy SEALs. Next up, we got Kevin Costner, Whitney Houston is The Bodyguard. The Bodyguard. Now watch me can't get it back in the case. I'm gonna take that plastic off. I don't need that plastic on there. The Bodyguard. Next up, we got Danny DeVito is The Wise Guys. The Wise Guys. That's the one. The Wise Guys. Danny DeVito and The Wise Guys. Next up, we have another Danny DeVito movie. Another Danny DeVito and Billy Crystal joins in on this. Throw Mama from the Train. Throw Mama from the Train. I think I may already have this. I ain't sure. Throw Mama from the Train. Next up, we have an old Tom Hanks movie. He is Bachelor Party. Bachelor Party. Good old Tom Hanks in Bachelor Party. Next up, we got, now I don't know, it's a 2 cassette here. Oh, it is tore all to pieces. And look what happened during shipping, I'd say. It is tore. It is tore. Well, that probably goes in the trash. Unless I can spool it. May have to, yeah, it just broke. It is broken, people. I guess it happened through shipping, I ain't sure. But it is broke, and that is no good. And it was The Invaders. The Invaders. Stephen King's, I believe. Too bad. Too damn bad. I have to swap those out. I really didn't want to. But it looks like I'm going to swap the spools out on these when I get a chance. Once I get the chance, I will have to swap those 2 out. And put a new tape spool on it. Very saddened about that. Kind of sucks. But we'll put this over to the side and we'll work on that later on. Next up, we have Streets of Fire. Streets of Fire. Streets of Fire. Oh! I've ordered and bid on these movies through Facebook group market off the same person, and I've won stuff in the past off of them, and none of them has been come through bad until now. So I don't know. Mailboy maybe, I ain't sure. Anyway, next up we have a great 80s film here, and it's got Steven Guttenberg, and I'm not a real big fan of Steven Guttenberg. I mean, you know, I've got a few movies in all the Police Academies and Short Circuit and whatnot, but look here. We have Don't Tell Her It's Me. Anybody seen that? Don't Tell Her It's Me. It's a great flick. Lobo Moronga. Don't Tell Her It's Me. Great movie. Next up we have, oh, once we drop it and break it, we have Matthew Broderick in War Games. War Games. War Games. there. Next up we got, oh Lord, I love this. I used to watch this on Betamax. Great memories. It is Blake Edwards, A Fine Mess. A Fine Mess. Anybody seen that? Anybody seen that? It's a flip. And of course the Day Gym barcodes coming off of it. A lot of older movies. The thing won't hold on there. It is, the label's coming off. It is Blake Edwards, A Fine Mess. When they bit on that horse, they shoved something on that horse. Yes, it is A Fine Mess. Side flap opener. Blake Edwards, A Fine Mess. Great movie. I love it. Next up, Roseanne Barr is in a movie. Yes, it is She-Devil. She-Devil. One of the great Roseanne Barr films. She-Devil. Next up, we got Rick Moranis in Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Rick Moranis. Uh-oh. Got some creasings going on there. It is wound back, so that is a good thing. Probably right during the other previews. Next up, we have a Martin Short film, Danny Glover, in Pure Luck. Pure Luck. Next up, we got an Emilio Estevez and another film here called, what is it? That Was Then and This Is Now. That was then, this is now. Emilio Estevez. Wind that up a little bit. I won't get hung. Yeah. Those are starting running in. Let's see. Next up, we have a great Kevin Smith adaptation here. Jason Mewes, Chris Rock. It is Dogma. Dogma. Love Dogma. Love it. Next up, we have Teachers. Teachers. Nick Nolte in Teachers. Nick Nolte in Teachers. Next up, we got Car 54, where are you? Car 54, where are you? Based on the show back in the day. Car 54, where are you? Pretty cool film. Here we go. My wife wanted this. She's watched it. I proposed to her, I think, if I ain't mistaken, when this movie was on. She was watching it at the time. 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. Let's check it out here. Lay it right down there and look at it. Oh, yes. Also got a little crease there. Some of these got some pretty good creases in it, y'all, but it's right at the beginning, so hopefully all of them is when the previews are starting for other films. Now, we got a Chevy Chase movie here. Part 2 is Fletch Lives. Fletch Lives. We have a Tom Green film here. And I think Jason Lee's in it also. Yes, that's why I got it. Stealing Harvard. Stealing Harvard with Jason Lee and Tom Green. Next up we have Joe Pesci is The Super. The Super. Joe Pesci. I love it. Great friggin' flick. Joe Pesci is The Super. Oh, let me stretch out here a little bit. Let me get up here. Next up, we have Michael J. Fox is The Secret of My Success. The Secret of My Success. Next up, we got Canadian Bacon is John Candy in Canadian Bacon. John Candy in Canadian Bacon. Good movie. Next up, we have Arnold and Danny in The Twins. The Twins. Anybody seen that movie? Love me some twins. I heard that they're going to make a part 2 to this called Triplets, involving Eddie Murphy, but that was years and years ago when I heard that. Don't know how that's going to play out, or even thinking about doing it now. Anyway, next up we have Look Who's Talking To with John Travolta, Christy Alley. Look Who's Talking To. Aardvark Video. Aardvark Video in Fairground, Hudsonville. Look Who's Talking To. Alright, that concludes box number 2. Throw it over there for now. Box number 3 and the final box. Let's dig into it. Let's see what we got. Before we get to this box 3 here, I also picked these couple up at our local thrift store a couple weeks ago. And it is Who Framed Roger Rabbit? With Christopher Lloyd, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? And What's Worst Could Happen with Martin Lawrence and Danny DeVito? What's the worst could happen? Them two at our local thrift store. Now on to box 3 of our BID Facebook Marketplace auctions. We have Joe Pesci in My Cousin Vinny. I could watch this all day long. I watch it every time it comes on TV. My Cousin Vinny. Two Utes, My Cousin Vinny. Next up we have another Arnold. It is, nose blowing in. It is The Sixth Day. With Arnold, The Sixth Day. Next up we got My Girl Part 2. My Girl Part 2. Next up, we'll go through these pretty fast, hopefully. We're about done, folks. We're about done. Sorry for the long video. It is number 54. 54 movie. What did I get this movie for? Oh, it is because Mike Myers plays in it right there. Good old Mike Myers in 54. Next up, we got a great classic here, folks. Look at this. VHS fans. It is Ralph Macchio in Crossroads. Who has ever seen this film? I watched this on Betamax. Crossroads, VHS. It is a side flip. Side flap, whatever you can call it. Great, looks good. Crossroads. One of our all-time greats of Ralph Macchio. Everybody loves the Karate Kid. They say that's the best one of Ralph Macchio. It's always Karate Kid. To me, it is always Crossroads. The guitar scene at the end. Unreal. Anyway, next up, we have Christopher Lloyd, I think. No, yeah, it is Christopher Lloyd. Christopher Lloyd in The Dream Team. The Dream Team. And another one can't hardly get out of the case. Ah, here we go. Yes. It is The Dream Team. Next up, we have Dead Calm. Dead Calm. A thriller, horror, whatever you can call it. Dead Calm. Next up, we got Chevy Chase in National Lampoon's European Vacation. They say this is the worst out of all of them. I kind of enjoyed it. Kind of enjoyed the European Vacation film. Chevy Chase is European Vacation. Next up, we have Silence of the Lambs. Had to get Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs. Next up, we have part 1 to Charlie Sheen is in Major League. Major League. Good movie, good movie. Major League. Next up, we have now this one is probably not the art cover I'm looking for, but it's work. It is Dudley Moore and Kirk Cameron in Like Father, Like Son. And I'm not a fan of either one of these actors. I mean, I've watched quite a few of their movies. They're okay. They're pretty cool. But I was never a big fan. But this movie is awesome. They played great together. Great plot. Love him kind of switching like that. It's just funny. Wind that back a little bit. Blow my nose. Something over back in there. Like Father, Like Son. Who's ever seen that? Pretty cool flick. Next up, we have a Cher in Nicolas Cage in Moonstruck. 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 Great film too. Next up, let's go over here. We have a movie called Dune. Dune. Had to get this. Everybody talks about Dune. And I'll be dang, look at this. Didn't know this. And it ain't worth nothing, but it's 1985 Dune. I've never seen this. Can you believe this? I've never seen this movie, Dune. And it is either factory sealed or resealed. I'll say it's a resealed. Anyway, I can't get there. It's sealed. Dune. Sealed copy of Dune. Whether it's resealed or sealed from the thing. Okay, here we go. Horror. Cloud Bakers presents Lord of Illusions. Lord of the Illusions. Horror flick. Lord of the Illusions. Next up, we got Whoopi Goldberg in Made in America. Made in America. And I think Will Smith has a cameo spot in this too, if I ain't mistaken. I think he's in that as well. Cameo. Made in America, Whoopi Goldberg. Next up, we got horror flick or thriller one. It is The Abyss. The Abyss. Who's all seen The Abyss? The Abyss. Nose. Next up, now look here, I've done it again. Got it a while ago in box 2. Got it again in box 3. 48 hours. Nick Nolte. Eddie Murphy. Ordered it twice. Didn't know it. That's okay. Nick Nolte in 48 hours. I'll go back through and see which one's the best. Keep the best one. Sell the other one, supposedly. Next up, we have Demi Moore, Bob God Cold Wet in One Crazy Summer. Anybody seen that great classic? One Crazy Summer. Can't wait to revisit that again, y'all. Good movie. One Crazy Summer. Next up, we got Kurt Russell is in Stargate. Stargate. Next up, Noseblow in Baby Boom. Harold Ramis, I believe, is in this. Baby Boom. Baby Boom. Baby Boom. Got it because Harold Ramis is in it. Baby Boom. Next up, we have a thriller, horror flick. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I hear this coming out with another one of these. I don't know if it's going to be a reboot, remake, or what, but... And the dang thing has got tape on it right here. Can't get it out to look. That's awful. My nose wants to blow the water, stick it up. We're going to undo this. Y'all, bear with me. Come on now. I hate when they do this. Got these little stickers on the bottom. You have to pull it off and I get the tape out and all that good stuff. My nose is killing me today, y'all. I got my nephew out there mowing the yard and it's killing me. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Next up, we have, and I've ordered again. Look at here. I've ordered so many movies I can't keep up what I've not and what I did bid on. That beats all I've seen. 3 movies out of this bid box that I bid on again. Scarface. I'm about to go back through that and get Scarface back out again. 3 Scarfaces. No, 2 Scarfaces. 2 48 hours. And 2 Seamuses so far. Awesome. Gonna have to write down what I bid on. Next up, we have a company that takes a bite out of crime. It is Innocent Blood. Innocent Blood. Next up, we have Woody Harrelson, I think, is in this. Yes, it is the High-Low Country. High-Low Country. Next up, we have Goldie Hawn's, Woody Harrelson in Wildcats. Wildcats. Football. Anybody seen Wildcats? Great classic myself, I think. Wildcats. Football. Next up, we have Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles. Part 3 of Crocodile Dundee. Next up, we got 2 left here. 2 left and we are done, folks. Ain't you glad? We have Arnold in Hercules in New York. Hercules in New York, Arnold. And last but not least, whatever you want to call it, this is the end, folks. This is the end. This is a flipper. Flip side, it is Bill Cosby in Leonard 6. Leonard 6. Bill Cosby. And that wraps it up, y'all. That takes care of this segment of this VHS haul bid from Facebook Marketplace. Got some copies that I didn't know I had twice. Got a few things that was messed up a little bit, but I guess that goes with the territory when you order a bunch of movies and they pack them all in one box. But all in all, I think it'll come out okay. That wraps the segment up, folks. That's the end of this segment. We'll catch you on the next segment from NDT CoLlEcTs WrAsSLiN Plus VHS.
This segment was brought to you by NDT CoLlEcTs WrAsSLiN Plus VHS.